Mrs. Sadler, buying her from Commander instead of me, huh? This is super fun. Oh. Oh! Sorry about that, Badger. You know, well, Mr. Girlfriend there. And guess what? This coming episode, it's Martin!
Martin!
Oh, thank you, cameraman. Now, off you go. Boo!
Oh, shucks. Sorry about that, folks. Well, you can blame the guy who got bored and then feels sleepy. Anyway, this is the brutal one, Rolando Alejandro Zamora. Well, this episode is quite special. I mean, I haven't seen this guy since probably before February, if I'm not mistaken. That will be his last show, PWR Mabuhay ang Wrestling. Yeah, right, that one. Anyway, Martin Vicencio, one of my good friends, will be our special guest for this episode. So, cameraman, let's get it on with it.
If you're done with that, we got 2 words for you. Suck it!
Alright. So, musta ka na, Martin Vicencio? It's been quite a while. You're now
I know.
going one-on-one with the brutal one right now.
Hello. Well, it's morning here, but good evening there in my favorite place, which is the beautiful town that is Youngstown in Little Baguio, San Juan City, Metro Manila, NCR region, in the Philippines. How are you? How are you, Mayor? I listened to the latest episode, part 1 of One-on-One with the Brutal One with Veronica Mike Shannon. And I want to ask you, since you mentioned that you also lived and you plan to live forever there in Little Baguio, how is Little Baguio right now? I haven't been there since Feb or like the week before your wedding.
Oh, let's say everything's fine here. Back to normal, except for the Agora Market on San Juan. Given that there is one unfortunate case of a gelote whatsoever got COVID-19, so that was like over a week ago. They kind of cleaned up the Agora Market underneath the Pure Gold Agora San Juan, and that's how it is. But I think right now San Juan's a little bit safe as much as concerned. Actually, my wife and I went for a little trip to Robinson's Galleria, and well, apparently we went to Podium, but that was only for shortcut going to SM Mega Mall, and we bought a handful of stuffs at the supermarket. We went to some computer shop there, Octagon, and then after that we went
I miss Octagon. Did you go to Data Blitz at least?
Unfortunately, we don't have time for that. We went to her. Come on, man. There's not much in there. There are a lot of people. We cannot allow ourselves to
that's true.
For safety reasons. We went to
Mega Mall has very small Data Blitz, very small.
Exactly.
And if you enter, that's true.
Sa Green Hills, yung sa V-Mall, malaki. Yeah, napaka-reasonable. Also, my wife went into some clothings from Zara to H&M up to Uniqlo. Tama ba?
I need to ask how many people were there in those stores, because I know Uniqlo has more than one floor in SM, and H&M is also kind of big in SM Mega Mall.
Yeah,
and all in all, does it feel like it's the old SM na ang daming tao on a Sunday afternoon? Hopefully,
yung sa yung sa area ng Cyber Zone, nagulat na kami na ang dami, ewan ko kung anong meron doon or may promo or something, kaya may ilan nakalinya sa labas like that. We don't want to last there that long. Well, at least before all of this, I went to Toy Kingdom to see if there's some cool shit in there, but nothing come out, and I was
nothing new.
Not as much. I wanted to buy a diecast, but I'm not in the mood. So yeah. Sigmuna ng pesa ngayon. wait till kapag nakatawag nito, discount na or something, then that's how
Oh, pag may toy sale.
yes.
Basta
But
COVID.
also, I'm saving money. I'm saving money for Lego parts one day if they're gonna have a meet and break event. But I feared that it will never happen because you know it already.
Yes, the COVID. But speaking of which, you mentioned the podium. Kamusta yun? I tried to. Yeah, I went there like Christmas time. Ang laki na. Di ba nun nandito lang
Okay
yun?
na talaga siya. I would like to go there but we don't have time like that. And we like to go
Yes.
things na sa shopping si Mrs. We only bought some grocery stuff like that and some meriendas. Pero kunti lang. That's how it goes. Like that.
May data blitz doon, but I don't know if it's in
Meron
the old
yun.
spot or the new
Meron
spot.
yun sa
But
podium but not as big as the
yeah,
VMall branch
Mall.
data blitz like that.
Oh, I think it's like Shangri-La Mall sized, but a bit flatter. Kasi sa Shang Mall, pag napapansin mo, it looks like a box. It's a box type. In Mega Mall, it looks like this kind of box. It's flat.
Ah,
It's like a hallway. That's why
alright.
I understand why you don't want to go to Mega Mall Data Blitz because it's so small.
Mhm.
And if you rank my Data Blitz experience, I'd rather go to Shang and then the one in Glorieta. And in Podium, if I feel rich, but I don't have money, so never. That's never gonna happen except once a year. And then down the list is Mega Mall. In between is Cebu because I don't know where it was in SM Cebu.
By the
Oh, kala
way,
nyo, wrestling kakausapin namin ha, Data Blitz lang pala.
hey, how's in Brazil, man? I mean, would you like to
Oh,
tell your stories about it?
oh man, I'm getting fat because the food is cool here. I have learned the perks that is like in-app delivery, and I don't have to pay in cash because I have a debit card. I put my debit card number, and if I want a Pizza Hut, I just get my a fat ass, order a Pizza Hut. It goes here 30 minutes to an hour, but secret here is I never tried to order Pizza Hut here because it's more expensive here. And Domino's. They have local pizzerias. So actually, I can show you one pizza right now. Give me 1 minute.
Alright, take your time, boy.
So
There it is.
right now, this is Pizza Talk with Martin and the Mayor. What I
Yeah.
have is a brand called Don Badu. So this
Dumbledore.
one is a normal pizza store here, and basically it's a half-eaten crust. So they have a Hawaiian pizza. If you can see the pineapple, and the other side has some pepperoni, but it's not pepperoni. They call it parang ano it's like a Chinese chorizo here,
I see.
but
Pero
they call it
masarap ba? Masarap ba?
calderesa. Masarap, masarap. But nakakamiss din yung pizza natin, yung yellow cab, yung shakies.
Yung
The
Pizza
Pizza
Hut.
Hut here is like Pizza Hut in the States. It's hell of a lot oilier. So it's like when you eat Pizza Hut in the East Side. Too much oil.
Yeah.
Like when you order Sbarro in the eastern states, like Virginia or Vermont, like, oh, it's Sbarro, and then you eat the rest. Dear God, it's a Pizza Hut. Anyway, I'll be back. I gotta put this in my ref.
Oh yeah, take your time. Take your time.
The best thing about the pizzas here in Brazil is oh my God, hold on.
Ah, La la la, we do
You
have
won't see
all
it in
the.
the picture, but if I try to show it, this is like the normal pizza they have, and in the lower right, in this lower part,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a dessert pizza. They do a lot of kick-ass dessert pizzas like chocolate pizza. Imagine mo, Nutella yung base ng pizza, and then may mga M&Ms, kumbaga. Hindi naman M&Ms, parang nips yung
Teka, anong
dito.
lasa naman yan?
Masarap, pare. It's a dessert pizza. And the
Alright.
Don Badu, they have if you order a family-sized pizza, may ano sila, may promo na minsan you get one small mini pizza for free. And usually, pwede mo gawin yun yung ano mo, banana and chocolate pizza, yun yung gusto mong dessert. Or chocolate pizza, pure chocolate. Or dulce de leche pizza. These guys here have a sweet tooth.
Okay, the
I'm
blend
getting
them.
fat.
Anyway,
I'm
the
getting
fun stuff
fat,
is
man.
good. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if
Alright.
I'm getting fat because I'm stress eating of work. We're not gonna talk about my work, but it's fucking stressful. Oh God, I'll bleep that later.
Hey, what
Wait, no,
happened?
I'm the guest. You bleep that later.
Hey, what happened to your fingy?
I had an accident. I was moving a bin in the bathroom. It cut me. It kept bleeding. It was bleeding for almost 2 hours. I had to be rushed to the hospital. They cleaned it up. The next day, I had a tetanus shot just in case it was tetanus because it was.
It hurts like hell. I can imagine.
Yeah, it's like a small cut, but imagine it just kept bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. Like tumatagos na dito sa ano ko sa.
Pero hindi naman,
Tumagos na,
pero hindi naman malalim yung wound mo, no?
Thankfully, it was just at the edge of the superficial part of the finger. Had it cut deeper, it would have.
Stitches.
I would have needed surgery. Yeah, stitches.
That sucks. But that
Yeah.
you survive from that shit, you know?
I
Except
mean, it's been 2 weeks since I had a tetanus shot, so thankfully I have no COVID yet because nakapila ako. But may pila na social distancing, so I guess it worked.
anyway, how's Brazil doing lately as of now?
We're number two. We're number two. We're number two in all COVID cases. As of July 12, 2020, Brazil time, we have 1,840,000 cases of positive COVID.
Eh, dito pa nga mga 50 plus lang nga.
Dito sa city ko, 68,000 plus na yung COVID cases ko. So I don't know if I should be scared or happy about that. I'm pretty much scared because most people here do wear masks but no social distancing. They're very lax. It's like they don't think it's real. I can't blame them because their president thinks it's not real. And now he's positive with COVID, don't you think so? So yeah.
Do I want to call
Uh,
him
On to the fun
for that?
stuff. Yeah. So
Okay.
before I die, I'm glad I'm here in the one-on-one with the brutal one, with the mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, let's cut the crap and we're gonna talk about your beginnings of your career that you're doing to this day. So, wanna tell?
I can't talk to you about my job, so we can't do that. So we can just talk about how we met.
Okay.
That's the safest bet, man. People are watching.
Sige. We're gonna go from there.
Yeah, okay. So it was 2017. It was a Saturday afternoon in Makati Cinema Square. We were waiting on the very first episode, or very first show of
Anong
MWF.
year yan?
2017.
Makati Cinema Square.
MWF 1.
Yun,
That's where we
yun,
met
yun.
in person.
MWF Live, right?
Live, yes.
That was before Republica.
Yes, that was way before Republica. It was, I think, April. That was a week after the WrestleMania viewing.
That was May, yung MWF Live. Probably around or before my birthday, of course. May.
No,
May.
it's April 2017. I wrote for When in Manila on that, so I can remember that. Remember, I write about that, so I have to remember the dates.
Yes. That's where we met, but we barely interact up until a certain PW show in 2017.
Yes, because during that time we were doing photography and it was very lax because no one was saying, hey, you have to duck. Hey, you have to not go to the apron and click this because medyo lax. Trust me, like when you watch an MCS show, not just MWF, yung PWR, pag media ka, may ganito ka, pero ka pumunta doon. Ang problema doon, yung sobrang sagat sa PWR. I think the first PWR show you saw was back in 2015. I saw your body something in the second floor watching PWR.
Yes, I watched there.
Was that Revolution X or Renaissance?
Probably PWR Live or Renaissance. I think there were. Remember,
Okay.
I attend two PWR shows in MCS. The
MCS.
very first edition of PWR Live, that's for one, and late ako dumating para sa Renaissance, of which I still kinda a bit of an effect having that kind of an effect to this day because I
Okay,
miss.
I have to ask then. That show, was it the show? Were you on the second floor when Bombay and John Sebastian were fighting on the second floor or no?
Oh shit! Yan yung
Were you
second
there?
half na miss ko eh. I mean, yung second, yung first
Oh!
part na miss ko. Yung second part, yung second half, I managed to watch it. And definitely when I first arrived there, those two brutalized each other already. Damn!
Okay, so tapos na. Tapos na. But you were on the second
Mga 15
floor.
minutes yung 15 minutes yung napanood kong laban nila. I kinda knew that
Right.
this might last like nearly half an hour. Given it's a no holds barred match. Favorite ko yung match na yan. Kina
Kasi if you were
John
there in the
Sebastian.
second floor,
FYI, John Sebastian
yeah,
is
my
no
God.
longer affiliated with PWR.
oh yeah,
Apparently.
we can talk about that later. Kasi if you were on that side, on the side to your right, yung may papasok dun sa other side of the audience, right? Some of my friends had an extra birthday hat. I think Bombay grabbed one of the hats and was wearing it while he was beating up John Sebastian. That was fun.
I just
so
wish
back
they
to the
released that
MCS.
video footage. I mean, yung
Yeah,
full
that's
match,
my
sana.
favorite.
Sana.
Oh, yun
Pero
yung
bakit
favorite
hindi
Bombay
nangyari?
match ko.
I mean, alam ko
Oh, no.
matagal na yan, pero leche. Alam ko pa ang
Broadcasting issues, because remember they had a TV5 deal, or that was. Wait, let me get back to you. We're just still gonna be here online, guys. Don't worry. I know they had an affiliate there, PWR Renaissance, 2015. They were having an affiliate, a media affiliate there that never released it. If you recall, they had like guys with cameras there na akala mo TV cameras na, hindi ba? Mayor?
leche. Ano ba mga to? Paano magiging...
It was a streaming site.
Yes. I think I remember that because they kind of showed this show before PWR Live, if I'm not mistaken about it. I think we'll look for it maybe if we have our own respective time like that whatsoever. Anyway, beginning in 2017 that we became fast friends because we had something in common and vice versa. We got ourselves into the show, so not only PWR but
You forgot
MWF.
to mention the best part of how we met.
Go
Who
ahead.
was there when we met? Who was there? Who was there with us? You forgot.
Not
There's two
Pepper.
of them.
Not Pepper, I believe.
No. It's an inch for inch best wrestler
Trian
of all time,
Delatore.
man.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was the time I was talking to Trian and his girlfriend Sonia, and then out of nowhere you sat down and introduced yourself. Hello, my name is Rolando Alejandro Zamora. You guys were talking about the WWE book you have. I think the what book was that? The Past Champions and the history of the WWE.
Yes, the
I remember you were talking about
WWE
that
50. WWE 50. That was
Yes.
86 yata yun eh.
Yes. No. It was there because I can remember after the show I was asking him, so
okay.
who's that guy? Oh man, he was talking so much, but that was pretty cool. Like, sorry guys, I had to take pictures. And then from there we do meet and PWR stuff. So it's funny, like aside from you, I met Trian there and he became a guest of mine, you became a guest of mine. And yesterday, Philippine time, Saturday morning, we released the 69th episode of Third World Gaming Feature and Critical Index, out now on channel14.com, which does have the special guests of Trian, Evan Carlo, Grab Camus, and Kali Nueva. And if you have listened to that episode, while we were recording, you were messaging us 9 p.m. And we were all like at one point, 9 p.m.? What is this? And then at the end of the episode, we checked out 9 p.m. on your wall, and we were asking if it was the brief cut. We were like, it's not the brief cut, guys. Ah, damn it, Mayor.
Hey,
When's the brief cut gonna be out?
Hey, did you guys ever mention me on that episode? Kahit kunti lang.
Yes, we mentioned because you messaged all of us, even Hiram. We're like, he messaged Hiram? Does he know we're recording? No. What's going on here?
Well, I
Oh,
look
why
for
did
that if I had the time, okay? I would look for it.
yeah, when
Anyway,
you messaged?
where
That
were
was
we?
weird.
Where were we?
We were at the MWF thing, and then our friendship, so go there, and then a couple of episodes past. Remember, you were my guest when I couldn't watch an MWF show
Oh
or a
yes, I
PWR
did.
show.
I did do you a favor.
Yes,
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 and even the
yes,
World
yes.
Underground Wrestling too. I even
Yes, the first one.
WUWH.
What I love about that review was before we were doing it, we were watching it again because they had it on YouTube, so it felt like I was there. Like I was watching it with you guys, but not live. Oh man, I wish they're doing fine. I heard Woo is actually doing some streaming shows, but not the Philippine shows, like abroad. You see their page sometimes. It's the only thing I see in Woo right now in Philippines. They are talking about video games, the machine. They're talking about The Last of Us 2, but I'm not playing that yet because I'm waiting for it to be cheaper. So that means I'll be playing it in 2022. Because I've been telling myself since 2014, oh, when Last of Us 1 is going to be complete and when it's going to be cheaper, I'll buy it. It's 2020, Martin. You have yet to buy it online.
Mm-hmm.
So now I want Last of Us 2 to be cheaper as well. So yeah, I'm a cheap ass. I'm sorry. So that said, I got to ask. Wait, no, you have to ask the questions. This is your show. Okay, go on.
Where was
Sorry.
I? Yes, we're gonna talk some cool stuff in Philippine pro wrestling. So I need to know how. Before we go there, how do you
Brad
believe?
Cruz is the most poggy wrestler of all time. If that's your question, yes, that's my answer.
I'm
Is that
not
your
talking
question?
about the gelote that ought to get his asses kicked on a daily basis. Okay,
Sorry.
so let's go from the beginnings. Now, how do you got yourself into your pro wrestling fandom? If you could still recall
Um,
it, Bob Boy.
you're gonna like this because I think you mentioned this in the episode with Veronica. The first wrestler I saw on TV was this scary, hulking blonde man known as Hulk Hogan. I was 3 years old, so I have no idea why he has a mustache. Why is he so tan? Why is he angry and ripping off his shirt? That was a commercial in IBC 13 kasi alam mo, may
Yung
superstar
ano,
sila every
yes,
Wednesday night,
All
10 p.m.
Stars Professional Wrestling.
Yes.
Yes, that's what they always titled that one. They
And
couldn't just be direct about the titles, you know.
you mentioned this on an earlier episode too. The very first wrestling match I saw was The Undertaker versus Hulk Hogan in Survivor Series 91.
Achung, and we know the rest. Paul
It's
Bearer.
weird. You mentioned that match, didn't you? Was that your first match too?
Well, I'm not so sure. Yung
You're a bit
pinakaunang kong
younger.
match yata na panood would have to be Macho Man Randy Savage versus Hulk Hogan for the WWE title. Yung mga before weeks leading to
Was this
WrestleMania 5.
Mega Powers Explode? Or not
Yes, the
yet?
Mega
Not yet.
Powers Explode. That's as far as I can recall. And also, it relates to Ultimate War Hogan WrestleMania 6 match. It's been a long time. I don't know if my memory serves me correct. I mean, sobrang tagal na. Pero yung kay Hogan Taker match sa Survivor Series to this day, I still recall it. But
Me
I'm not so
too.
sure if I did watch later yung this Tuesday in Texas, yung WWE title
Oh, when
rematch
he
ni
got it back. I
Hogan.
never saw that one, so I only
But
saw
it
the
would
match
take many
between him
years for us
and
to get the
Taker.
idea that it will actually the reason Hogan won the title is because while there's an altercation between the Nature Boy Ric Flair and then the president Jack Tunney, Hogan grabbed the urn and then threw the
Used
contents
it
onto the
against
dead
Taker.
man's eye,
Yeah.
and then Hogan pinned Taker. Referee count 1, 2, 3. But Jack Tunney get into the senses and oh my, he did see it. So this controversial match between Taker and Hulk Hogan was absolutely what he called maybe uncalled for. So he had to strip Hulk Hogan of his fourth WWE title. And the
Ooh.
only way for you to win the WWE Championship, one way or another, is for the first time
The
in
Royal
history.
Rumble.
Yes, the history of Royal Rumble. The first time.
Right here in my eye. This is the real. Woo! Something like that, right?
Ric Flair lasted like nearly an hour, if I'm not mistaken, despite na
Yes,
sa
and he won.
number 2 spot siya. Number 2 entrant.
Oh man, yeah. Oh god. It's weird because, like you said, the most memorable match I've heard or I thought was my first match would be Taker and Hogan, and I was 3 to 4 years old, and I was like, "Who's this scary dead guy who just defeated this hulking blonde named Hulk Hogan? That guy I have a toy of that does this. You know the Hasbro of Hulk Hogan?
Oh yes,
Yung
I
pag
think
naman yung gumagano.
I think my friend of mine named Totoy Jalote has it, if I'm not mistaken, of course.
That's our first wrestling toy, along with the Ultimate Warrior, the one when you press the one on the back, the neck like extends.
Ay
The
gaga.
Hasbro toys. So yeah,
Those are the good
so
old
those were
days
my.
of my childhood, one way or another.
So yeah, that's the
So,
first time I watched through Betamax, and then IBC 13 when I tried to wake up until 10 p.m. only to fail because I was young, I needed sleep, I couldn't.
now.
Oh.
Baby
And then
wants
pag
now.
Pag Saturday din, when it got moved to ABC, ang nabutan ko lang Tropang Trumpo and then that news show, I tried to keep myself awake, but I can't. So like, I think I only get to watch the first matches on ABC 5 and then fall asleep.
I understand
Yeah.
that. Do.
So I only get to watch wrestling via Betamax.
Mm-hmm.
Yung sa mga renta video places sa Mandaluyong.
Oh, they had
That
that one.
said, where do you buy your Betamax or rent your Betamax before sa Little Baguio? Kasi kami meron sa Mandaluyong Circle eh.
Well, sa alam
It
ko
turned
yung
into a pet
rental
store
laser
now.
disc. Rental laser disc, like that, you
Rental
know.
Laserdisc. Okay.
Yeah, I
That's good.
still remember that one to this day. Yes. When we have the laser disc player, you know. Ja.
That's good. That's good.
Hmm.
Never had a Laserdisc though. Only Betamax VHS player.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to the Attitude Era.
Let's talk about that
Thankfully,
one.
my Star Sports. Thank
Let's talk
you,
about
Star
that one.
Sports.
I barely watched that one like 98 in some of
Ay.
my family friend's house way back then. But it was on 1999 at full force ako. Maybe
Okay.
as early as St. Valentine's Day Massacre, if I'm not mistaken,
May
or
big show
around
na.
WrestleMania 15, if I'm not mistaken.
Me, nabutan ko yung last years of the new generation when they were still putting it on Bret Hart before Shawn Michaels got the belt. A favorite, a memorable person in Star Sports there was the Chinese guy called Robin. You still
Yes, I
remember him?
remember that. Thanks for reminding me. I
So
remember
he has a shape, he
that.
has the
He's a
mustache, he
Monday
has
Night
this one.
Raw and some pay-per-views in WWE.
So before Raw is
Yeah.
War, what do you get? You don't get the show, you get, whoa, who was me, Robin? Who WWF, Raw is War. Something like that. It's so cool. I don't know if my Mandarin is right, but you get what I mean. He's always going to say, whoa, Robin. Something like that.
All right.
Oh,
But
man. I
when do
miss
you
that
when do you
guy.
stop watching wrestling? Mine probably
I
around
was
the invasion.
forced.
Hmm?
Yeah, I was forced to stop watching it in Invasion because it's not in Star Sports anymore. It's not in that Indonesian channel, Channel 63 in Sky Cable. That's what I watched. That's where I watched to watch WrestleMania 17. I got to see the TLC match there and the Austin Rock match.
Yun.
But after that, I was waiting. Like it was a Saturday or Friday night they show it. And I'm like, where is it? Why is it just? What happened? I'm waiting on Raw. I'm waiting on SmackDown. Nothing's happening, and it was already Invasion time. Like I already saw a recap of Booker T attacking Stone Cold in King of the Ring. It was like, what's going on?
That was
This
the
is the same
year 2002.
one.
Wait, 2001. Yeah, I remember that. Yung
Yeah, so
Invasion Angle.
I had to rely on seeing wrestling results na lang on my internet, and internet still sucked back then.
Ah, yes, yes,
Uh,
yes. Yung
and
dial-up, tama ba?
yeah, and it came back to me 2002 on SmackDown, but it was already the brand extension. So, yung nang draft na sila, yun, napapanood ko na sa RPN 9. They had it. Yeah, your favorite channel, RPN 9 on Saturday afternoon. I got to see Edge taking on Eddie Guerrero in a ladder match. I got to see Chris Jericho still there before being sent to Raw, so I kind of got pissed off when they traded him to Raw. Like, I don't have Raw here. It's just SmackDown on RPN 9. Screw you, WWF. And then, like, yeah, I saw the rise of Brock Lesnar. That was cool. Jack TV finally got it back 2003. So I got Raw, SmackDown, Velocity, my favorite show, Velocity. My favorite feud was A-Train versus Funaki. Like, the number of times you see A-Train taking on the Japanese superstar Funaki in Velocity. Good times, man.
Ah, yes. Good old times, baby.
Good
Ah, la
times.
la la.
So, ikaw,
Okay.
like, when did you come back to watching this? Like,
Well,
was it
slowly,
Jack TV as
probably
well?
around the Ruthless Aggression era in 2002,
Mm-hmm.
sporadically. And then it was on 2004. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yung sa RPN na yun ang palabas nila yung WrestleMania 20. And then, yeah, Jack TV, during the Chris Benoit's World Heavyweight title reign, and
Mm-hmm.
Sissy Kane, marrying Lita, among others. And then the culmination of the HBK Triple H feud slash rivalry. And hey,
Oh, good evening. How are you doing? Yo,
Hello.
good evening. How are you doing? What's your answer, dear?
doing fine. Okay.
That's Martin, dear.
Yes, hi, Martin.
Okay. I
Yes,
still
yes.
remember you.
Of course, we went to the mayoral wedding.
Tama.
Yeah.
Remember yung
Oh man,
episode
that
sa
was a lot
Ricardo
of
Show?
food.
Masarap ba yung mga
Ang
pagkain
daming
doon?
pagkain, grabe. Wala pa nga yung dessert, nabusog na kami. Grabe. I'm like saying, wait, there's more food. Wait, what? And we still won't let it go that you put us in the kids table though. It says kids table.
Funny, huh?
What? But it made sense because we were the younger ones there, so yeah, I understand. In technically, we were in the kids table. So yeah, let's fast forward. Jack TV left it, dropped the ball. We were forced to watch it on Action TV Studio 23. Screw that. I said I'll check it out on YouTube and
Pero sa
torrent it, and then it
ABC5
came back to
ginawa nilang
Fox.
1 hour eh. Because of,
Right.
alam mo naman, yung deal like that, money talks and
Yeah.
everything, which wasn't necessary like that. Kaya medyo nabibitin.
Kaya masaya ako sa Fox Philippines eh. Nalala mo pa yun, Fox Philippines?
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
was happy with that. It only lasted until what, 2017 or 18, and then we were forced to watch it again on streaming. But thank God for torrenting and the WWE Network. Yeah, WWE Network.
Yeah.
Yar.
Hmm.
So yeah, I have to ask then. Ikaw, Mayor, are you more of a Raw guy or a SmackDown guy? Kasi ako SmackDown guy ako.
Wow, that was so tough. I grew up watching Monday Night Raw way back in the Attitude Era. And then when it came down to SmackDown, of course I'm all but, pang split 50-50. We got the red and the blue. But they had
yes.
the white and black in it. Choo-choo.
NWO? No, they were just there for a few months in Raw, remember?
Ay, later, sa part 2 na, ah. Okay?
Later,
Kwento kayo.
Otto. Yeah.
That's no Otto,
Yes.
that's a marmot.
All right, Otto's dead. Rest in peace, Otto. Rest in peace. It was weird. You actually showed me that you were Googling what he was.
I got a hard time. I thought it's a groundhog,
Yes.
but it was later revealed that he's a Vancouver Island
marmot.
marmot. a very different species of marmot that is quite
Yes.
endangered already, to say the least. Yeah,
And
and
you
they had
have
their
an endangered
resemblance to the
species in your house? That's illegal. No, just kidding. Okay, so what's the next question? Are we gonna go to local wrestling? Because this gets very interesting.
Ah, yes, the local wrestling scene. Now you're talking about it. So let's proceed. What year do you learn about the Philippine Wrestling Revolution and its existence? I mean, formal existence, if you ask me.
Okay, formal existence. It was back in the early months of 20. No, it was back in 2013, actually. This guy named Nelson
Bowman.
Aman Jr., aka Borman, yes. Yes,
Yes.
like I said, we will be pulling a lot of previous episodes here because I've talked to this guy personally, messaged him, and Mike Hurst knows about him. And like I said, I this weird thing in our local scene making people like Chris Benoit or something. Like you can't even say the name Classical Brian Leo for some reason. Like what's wrong with saying the name Classical Brian Leo on the show?
That is controversy that we're gonna tackle on part two.
We're not gonna tackle that because I'm not him. I'm not Yusuf Mir. So if you want to talk about that, you gotta talk to the guy
Mm-hmm.
at your own risk. And speaking of Nelson, yeah, he invited me to this event called Joshi Jam, which features Mia Yim from NXT right now as the main event, taking on Phil Lipina, Japanese Syuri Kondo.
Sure, Kondo,
Or
yes.
Shirakondo. So yeah, he invited me to cover that for a site I was writing at, and I was like, hell yes, thank you, because I was asking around in the. It's not yet PWR Street Team. It was something else. It was a weird Facebook group.
Group.
I'm not sure if it's the one that Frankie or Ace, sorry, Canto Terror made. It's a Pinoy wrestling, whatever, and they were like
Either
promoting
wrestling
Joshi
jersey
Jam.
whatsoever. Yeah.
I was checking it out. I was like, "What's this? Who's heading this?" So I had a common friend of Borman who was actually training for PWR at that time.
Bombay
He
Suarez?
was no, he was training with Bombay Suarez. I don't know if Bombay
Josh
still remembers him,
Wasserman, I
but
think.
not
Oh.
sure if he met Josh. He was an upper batch in my high school. He told me, "Hey, I'm training for PWR." Oh, that's cool, man. Hey, I heard this Joshi Jam thing is in. You guys are helping it out. Can you contact? Can you hit me up with someone who's their media guy contact who wants to have media sponsors there? And he hooked me up with Borman, and Borman said, "Yeah, we'd love to have you guys feature this shit." I'm like, "You real? For real? Okay. Give me a hell yeah." So there, I met them at Joshi Jam. I met Borman. I met Mikers there. I don't think he knows me yet, but after the show, everyone was there taking selfies with Miriam, with the other wrestlers, with Suri, of course, with Bodyguard. Shout
Tajiri
out to
was there, right?
Bodyguard. Yeah, Tajiru was there too. Tajiru was there. My favorite moment there was after that. No, it was still during the break. You weren't there, were you there?
No,
No.
I only discovered the Philippine wrestling
Ah,
scene
okay,
here
the
on
next year.
2015. That was
Okay.
before
The-
the first edition of PWR Live. Anyway,
So no one told you yet about what happened in the during the break. That there were two future PWR stars that went there during
oh,
the
I read
commercial
that
break
one
doing some
already. I
stunt.
read that one few years ago. Discover about the
Uh-huh.
Joshi Jam thing and its
So who was
backstory.
it? Do you
That
know
was
who it
from
is?
that was from
Mayor,
William
so who were they
Elvin's
in the ring?
yeah, yung isang page sa MWF doon, alam mo yun, yung No Curtains.
The one that William Elvin was writing.
Yes.
I don't think it was there because I was gonna tell you it was Bombay Suarez and Ken Warren who were inside that ring. Who was the third guy that entered there? If you read that,
I'm not
because it
so
wasn't
sure.
there too. It was Vintendo who thought his friend Ken was legitimately being beaten up by Bombay, so he chokeslammed the hell out of Bombay. And then a few seconds later, Tajiri went in there and broke things up and said, "No, no, no, no. If we want something like this, we gotta train you guys first. So like that happened. I went outside, and then a few minutes later, outside there, I saw Bombay. I was like, "Hey man, that was good." He was taking a bump smoke. Like, yeah, we were just like talking, and then we come back in, and then we enjoyed the rest of the show again. It's a very interesting story how I met him in person after that stunt.
Hmm. So, what was
Yeah.
your first PWR show that you ever watched?
Obviously, PWR Renaissance 2014, the very first show. And the very
Oh,
first
you've been
match
there.
was who? Yeah, I've been there since day one. Thank God I have yet to be Chris Benoit and say, oh, no one was covering us since day one. Sure.
Mayhem
Sorry.
Random versus Robin Sane. Am I that correct?
Yes, that's the very first match. And the very first segment was the Royal Flush with the first iteration of Robin Singh as the Jack of all trades, the very first Jack of all trades. We have the
Scarlet.
Queen Scarlet. Great on the mic. Just kidding. And the mic guy, the king of the Royal Flush. You can say it. What's the name?
Let me see.
Classical Brian Leo.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3. Would you please look at me?
Look at me!
For those
And I-
of you who don't
Who
know,
don't
you
know,
should know.
you should know.
I am
And
not-
knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe!
When do you want? When do you watch G.I. Joe, you piece of shit?
Star fucking World, man. Where the hell else? IBC 13? I hated the IBC 13. Got to get it off. Yo, Joe. I like the real American hero, G.I. Joe.
Langiya ka, yung Real American Hero, yan yung nauna ko napanood sa IBC 13 yung bata pa ako.
Dude,
Pati Rambo,
you're really older than me. Of course, nabutan mo yun. Hindi ko nabutan yun.
dahil nasa
Nabu-
matres ka pa lang ng nanay mo.
Oo, nabutan ko na yung G.I. Joe na pangit. Nabutan ko na Transformers na si Rodimus Prime na yung leader.
Yung 3 or 4 years old pa ako. Sigurado nasa loob ka pa ng betlog ng
Oo,
tatay
sabi ko,
mo.
oo. Di ba? Nakakainis kaya yun. Like, when you grow up and you check on TV and say, oh, Transformers is so cool. I love Optimus Prime. Uy, astig yun. Sino si Optimus Prime? Panoorin mo. Nakita mo, Rodimus Prime, bulok. Yak. Yak, bulok.
Burok.
Bulok. Oh.
Hey, cut the crap, kids, but we're gonna have to end this part much so we can have some
Yes, part two.
useless commercial break na actually never existed. So, we'll be right
Speaking of
back.
that,
we'll
we'd
be
like
right
to thank our sponsors, Norm's Balls, from the gutter to the stars, Norm's Balls, and we'll see you in part two.